Hello everyone. So we're going to continue with our reflection in James. And now we're moving into chapter 4. And we heard in chapter 3 last time when he said to not to think of have two wisdoms. And what he meant by that was to show your good life and be wise with your life. Don't be bitter and envious of other people. Don't be bitter and envious about other things. And the other kind of wisdom is to be pure and gentle. So James 4. So this section is called Friendship with the World. Those conflicts and disputes among you, where do they come from? Do they not come from your cravings that are at war within you? You want something and do not have it, so you commit murder, and you covet something and cannot obtain it, so you engage in disputes and conflicts. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly in order to spend what you get on your pleasures. Adulterers, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Or do you suppose that it is for nothing that the Scripture says, God yearns jealously for the Spirit that He has made to dwell in us? But He gives us all the more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned into mourning, and your joy into dejection. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. So, what is James trying to tell us in these verses here? So those conflicts and disputes among you, where do they come from? And he's trying to say that we all are jealous of what other people, or we can get sucked into being jealous of what other people have got. And we crave things that we cannot have. So much so that he says you commit murder and you covet something and cannot obtain it. And I suppose in some cases people really do. They go absolutely berserk for something, and then create, commit crime to get it, and sadness for other people. They steal and destroy because they can't have something. It says you do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly. And what I think he's saying there is you ask because you then want to go out and do the same as other people and have lots of money and want to win the lottery, and but really what good is going to come of that? And he says, therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God, because you so want to have all the desires of the world, all those things that literally turn you bad, I suppose, bitter within. And have you noticed that those people that are very rich or very famous and have lots of money, they're actually incredibly sad people. There's no happiness comes from that kind of wealth. And this is what James is saying. God yearns jealously for the Spirit that he has made to dwell in us. He jealously wants to have you to himself. He wants you to love him and him to love you. And for you to be desiring other things in the world that bring no goodness to you, it makes him sad. And he's saying it gives more grace if you oppose things. It says God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So, like the lottery winner, what do they gain? They gain nothing, not really. But he gives grace to the humble, because the humble know what is right, what they desire. They just desire to be loved by God and to love their neighbor. And what kind, that fills you with a joy that you just cannot have through money or through wealth. He says, purify your hearts, you double-minded. So how many of us are sitting here thinking, yes, I wouldn't mind winning the lottery though. What would you? What would you? What would you gain from that? He says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. It seems odd, doesn't he? He said, let your laughter be turned into mourning and your joy into dejection. But he's talking about the joy, the temporary joy that you feel through the things that you desire in life, all the, I don't know, the clothes and the jewelry and the alcohol or whatever it is, but they don't bring joy. They just bring a temporary sort of relief that, oh, I've got something, but it does not last. Whereas he then finishes up by saying, but humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. He will bring you a joy that cannot be paralleled at all with anything else that this world can offer. So that's given us something to think about. Friendship with the world or friendship with God. I think we all know what the answer is. So we can think about how we love God more, how we let things in this world go, let everything go, and love the Lord, and you will be fine. You'll be set right. So I hope you've enjoyed this beginning of chapter 4, and next time we'll continue from verse 11 onwards. Bye.